Ladies and gentlemen, good evening. Welcome to yet another edition of The Lambom Show. Today is Monday, March 20th, 2023. And today I wanted to really celebrate International Women's Day. Every year during the month of March, the international community gets together to celebrate the achievements, the accomplishments of women. And I wanted to start off in a very unusual way. The title of this broadcast that I advertised was Women's History Month, March 2023, Cornerstone Women and the Mantle with Evelyn Joe. Unavoidably, Miss Joe cannot be here because she's running around doing arrangements for Saturday's show, and there was some conflict. But I would be remiss if I started off without, honoring the woman of my life. I wanted to start off by really acknowledging the woman who gave birth to me. It's not Mother's Day. It's not any extraordinary day. It's not the day that we elevate, we celebrate mothers. But I wanted to start off today by celebrating my mother. My mother turned 75 yesterday. Yesterday, March 19th, my mother, Mary Nindum Kuma Mbom, turned 75. And I wanted to start off this broadcast by wishing her a very, very happy birthday. A very special woman. Very often when people see me, they say, I really want to see the woman who gave birth to you. And I'm sure when people see you, they are like, oh, because I look exactly like my mom, at least physically. I don't know about the other things that I want to celebrate about her today. The first thing I really want to celebrate about my mother is that she is a very, very strong woman. The first in a family of 9, all girls, and she has had to be the pace setter in the family. She has had to, be able to keep her family together, her biological family. We have grown used to all my mother's sisters, at least the last 4 or 5 of them grew up with us. And so if you came to a house, at least you knew that you were going to see one of my mother's sisters with us. They moved around with us. And I think it is, that fact of being the first and a woman. And there's been within our community, very often we ask the question whether it is preferable to have a girl child as your first child or a male child, because again, depending on how that turns out, the firstborn children, males, it seems as if we are not doing a good job. And so some people have a preference for having the girl child be the first, because then, it's a cultural issue. For some African cultures, it's like having a first child who's a boy. It's good for sake of continuity. I don't know what that means. But my mother was the first, and I think the family has continued. So again, that's a moot question. But I think I celebrate that woman. I can give you 75 million reasons why my mother is the best woman ever. And if you have ever met my mother, you know that she's a strong woman. And I'm glad I heard yesterday in church, the priest was also able to celebrate her. My mother is a great woman of faith. I've been wondering why she was named Mary. But all of a sudden, it's just yesterday that struck me that, okay, I see why the parents named her Mary. Because she was born on the feast day of Saint Joseph, the husband of Mary and the foster father of Jesus Christ. And that is probably why she was named Mary. I have not asked her why. I don't even think she knows why. But I can hazard that guess and think my mother was born on the 19th of March and named Mary in honor of Saint Joseph. And so while we celebrate today that feast of Saint Joseph, father, foster father, and husband, I want to say, my mother, congratulations. I know how strong you are, a Catholic, a woman, and a veritable member of the Catholic Women's Association. I thank you for the faith that you have brought us up in. We continue to struggle as Catholics, but also because of that faith that you kept together with our father, very strong, very, convinced Catholics. But beyond just being a woman of faith, I know that my mother too is a woman who knows how to empathize and how to sympathize. Um, I have grown up to know that in-laws are a problem, but I have not seen and I never heard my dad complain or my dad's family complain about this. And I think that it is a good thing that you were able to bring forth, live with in-laws, and make sure that everybody is okay. So I want to celebrate the fact that you were able to be a woman who is not just a woman, but a mother. And I said today is not Mother's Day. But beyond being somebody who knows how to sympathize and empathize, my mother is a great teacher. She grew up, she spent her life in the public service in Cameroon, teaching in the primary schools across different cities in Cameroon. She moved around. And I know that she taught many, many children, many pupils. She was a primary school teacher, a grade 1 level teacher, and a great teacher, very patient, knowing how to empathize, knowing how to sympathize. And I think that even though my dad retired from the Ministry of Post and Telecommunications, he ended up as a teacher too, teaching in the Post and Telecommunications School in Boya. So again, something about the woman as a teacher. I think that part is something that we also continue to celebrate. A mother who is a teacher, a mother who knows how to provide, a mother who is very, very patient, very soft-spoken. And so, my mother, I say happy birthday. But then, there are many women that we should celebrate and we really never make time to celebrate. And that is why I find this month a very important month. And on March 25th, we shall have the opportunity to celebrate some trailblazers in DC. March 25th, 2023. If you move around this town, you move around the DC metro area, you find that there are offices that are springing up around. So you have the Office of African Affairs within the district DC government. You have some in Maryland. You have maybe in Prince George's County. You have some in Montgomery County. And you also have, I think there's an African Advisory Board in the governor's office. All these continue to provide us with opportunities. But there is a history behind these. There are people who sacrificed for these offices to become what they are today. And very often we walk into these and we forget. And that is why I applaud the work that Miss Evelyn Joe is doing, trying to ensuring that we can celebrate women of substance, the women who served as a cornerstone in this history. And I think it was supposed to be a teaser to Saturday's event. You'll be able to watch on this show, on this platform, prominent women who laid down the foundation of what we have today as African immigrant communities across the DMV and across the United States. She has written a very beautiful summary of that. Like I said, you're going to hear about Miss Sophie Cisse from the Gambia, Dr. Catherine Ononko Ozoma from Nigeria, Chef Marie Faye from Senegal, Omega Taonosvi from Zimbabwe, and of course, Mama Lena Bradley. Many of them African immigrant women who came here most as students, but after going through school, decided they were going to make sure that our African immigrant community, what was referred to as Continental Africans, they laid a marker, and many people are shining, progressing on that basis. So again, we're going to celebrate these women on Saturday, and like I said, you'll be able to watch that on this platform. So again, thank you for coming on. I'm hoping that I'll be able to connect Ms. Joe sometime later for us to be able to do this. Thanks, and have a good evening.